welcome back. This is your Feel Good Breakfast show. It's a Tuesday morning and we are hanging out with, hands down, probably one of the greatest South Africans of the modern era, Mr. Riaan Manser.
Undoubtedly, whether it's cycling, kayaking, rowing his way literally around the globe, he's become our benchmark for adventure, for perseverance against all of the odds, and a champion of now many causes. And his latest challenge sees him taking up the fight on behalf of those needing life-saving stem cell transplants.
I'm Riaan Manser, explorer, author, public speaker. This is my story.
There is an ocean between saying and doing. I'm not going to give you the 10 steps to success. What I am going to do is get you to a more honest space where you will ask yourself what is required.
Riaan's 5 world firsts and 2 Guinness World Records have been earned in a league of his own. Circumventing Africa by bicycle, Madagascar and Iceland by kayak, and rowing across both the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans.
We all have things that we want to accomplish in our lifetime, but we don't do them because of the day-to-day challenges, fear and self-doubt. You might be scared, which is good. People might say you're crazy, that's even better. So you take a step back and ask yourself, what excuse am I going to make? There are a lot of excuses we can make in our lives, reasons we don't go after what we really want.
In between his epic journeys, he's certainly not above just enjoying thrills for the sheer fun and joy of being alive.
Sometimes we succeed and sometimes we fail. But when you succeed, you'll notice a pattern. Things that happen again and again. And you start to do those things over and over, from start to finish, to accomplish your goal.
Anytime his fellow countrymen and women might be feeling the pressures of life, he's there to inspire.
I believe people fail because they stop trying after the first no. You're going to hear no a lot. You're going to hear it a lot more than you're going to hear yes. Embrace this. Embrace adversity.
Riaan's most recently been tackling 7 challenges, each with a bag of cement, for the Sunflower Fund, helping patients fighting blood disease to get life-saving stem cell treatments.
Courage is not the absence of fear. It is, in fact, the willingness to face it. Perseverance. Be prepared to see things through right till the end, no matter what the obstacles.
Wow, I think just seeing Riaan's adventures makes you want to just get out there, live life, explore this magnificent...
What are we doing with our lives,
What are we
man?
doing?
What are we doing?
Well, no, we're making great TV, Graham, okay? That's what we're doing. But anyway, here he is, explorer, motivational speaker, author and producer Riaan Manser, who joins us to chat about the love for adventure that he has and where it'll be taking him to next. Always a privilege to be with you. And just, I mean, this is breathtaking stuff that you do.
Katlecha, it's little bits chipping away. You know, everybody, many people say to me, impressive career, but man, it's little bit by little bit.
Yeah.
You guys one day are going to be also remembered for many, many things, but a lot of people jump into something, jump out because they get impatient or they're tired. Now I've stuck it out for 20 years, you know,
Wow,
so
man. Wow.
I've seen a bit.
What is it that you do, my friend? What do you have you been able to encapsulate that? Are you an adventurer?
That wasn't
Are you
one
a
of the planned
humanist? You a
questions.
survivor?
No, it wasn't.
Now, listen, what do I do? It's awkward. I used to tell people I was unemployed because my wife is an advocate, so you know, you just bounce that off the advocate. And but listen, the amazing thing that I've been able to do is share my story. So I'm a storyteller. I love getting in front of audiences, but I love to also write. And lately, been producing. So we produced The Odyssey, which was the last show, which was on Mnet and,
Well done.
and on DSTV.
Yeah, that
But
was brilliant.
yeah, so producing, making TV programs, also a bit of fun.
I don't know how many people know how it all started for you, because you say you've been going on for 20 years now, but 20 years ago, when the idea came up to you and you thought, this is my life's mission and purpose, how did you get to that stage?
Katlecha, not even that far. You know, I didn't even have that
idea. I said to myself, my life wasn't good enough at that time. I said to myself, gee, Riaan, you know, you're going from Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, and you keep saying every single Sunday this this fear inside you to start the Monday again.
Yeah.
And I said, it's not good enough. And then I thought, you know, a coward would just accept it and keep going. A guy who was brave would stand up and say, I've got to change. And that was the start of where I got to now. But climbing on the bicycle, circumnavigating Africa changed my life. I didn't think I'd be able to pay the bills. I didn't.
Yeah?
I didn't think people
Real.
I didn't think I'd be able to. We had 38 Rand 75 in the bank when I got back from our bicycle trip. People thought, you know, fame and just equals fortune.
Yeah.
I had 38 Rand, you know, in the bank. So
That's incredible.
I suppose along the way you've had to become an entrepreneur as well, because you've had to learn how to build a brand and build a business around what you're doing to make it viable.
Sure.
So it's not just taking the easy way out, and I say that obviously very lightly, of just, you know, tackling these adventures and doing it, but you've had to create something special around you, but you haven't been alone. How has it been having your wife at your side, not only just as a support, but actually to risk her life out there on the open ocean to... Has she forgiven you for dragging her?
She has. We
on
got
that?
married. We got married after going to New York, so it was a good thing. I make a joke to say we never argued once on that 6-month ocean crossing to New York City, but you know, she has been by my side. I remember one thing, when I stand in front of audiences and I tell them about where it started for me, I tell them, you would think everybody was supporting me. A week before I left on the bicycle trip, she was crying in our little kitchen, and she looked up at me and said to me, if you want to break up with me, there are better ways of doing it.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, she's been, of course, a great support. And, you know, people aren't success on their own. You know, if all of you look back, you look at the people who gave you your first chance, the people who forgave you when you made mistakes, especially when we make mistakes. And then lastly is the people that see longevity in you, because there's always somebody younger, fitter, stronger coming up. And Graham, you hit the nail on the head. Look after your brand, be consistent and sincere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it comes to choosing all these epic adventures that you go on, how do you go about it? Do you have like a massive world map in your house and then you take a dart and you go, poof, cool, that's where we go.
Venezuela, here I come.
No, there's a TV program for us, eh? So I tell you, I was toying with this idea of having a dice, and I would sit with guys, like famous guys like you, and I would just say, listen, roll the dice and that's where we're going, and we just have to go.
We're going
only
to
got
find
2
a
little
way.
bags.
Yeah.
So
Do we take food?
Yes, no.
I'll bring the guitar for the busking on the side of the road.
Exactly.
But the whole thing is that my stories have never been thought out long before. Sometimes they were gut feel. Going with Dan around Iceland was a change of my entire plan to go to Greenland. And then I chose to rather go with somebody and to do something with somebody. The story with Fusty rowing across oceans was Fusty didn't want to be away from me again for those long terms. So each story, I think it's got its own little background.
How did you broach that conversation with her? Listen, I've got a solution to us not being apart. Why don't you just come with me?
She wanted to go shopping in New York City. That's a big attraction. And it's not sexist in any way, because, I mean, I was keen to go do some shopping in New York
York's
City.
awesome, man, yeah.
So we first got to New York and we didn't, I don't know, what's her name, Greta. She was carbon neutral. We really were carbon neutral.
Wow, that's amazing.
What's the take home here? What is the biggest lesson that you have learned? Have you been able to distill that into one or maybe a couple of lessons that we all need to learn?
No, sure. I'm not wise enough to be able to pinpoint it. You know, the whole thing about life is that it's a complex, probably circular movement that you continue in a forward progression, because you're coming back to where you were. But if there was one thing, I tell you what, gee, man, you know, don't sweat the small stuff. People, you know, we sweat the small stuff in the traffic this morning. I was sitting, seeing people sweat the small stuff every single second. There is a bigger world at play than just the traffic and just you having to make money and you having to look good in front of other people. Try that. It's not easy, but try rather just live life. You'll be a lot happier person.
Wow. Gems, absolute gems. And of course, Riaan will be around a little bit later on. He's staying with us today, not just because of the coffee and the dogs. He really does enjoy hanging out with us, but he'll be sharing one of his latest challenges that he's taking on.